Welcome back to Video Head Cleaner. My name is Tommy, and this is part 2 of our review of K-Pop Demon Hunters. Such a wonderful film, and we are very excited about it. So, without any more ado, let's get into it. This is part 2.
So at this meeting, though, Rumi sort of asks Jinu if he's on board with her plan, but he kind of wavers. He says he's not the one to help her, even though he wants to believe in her plan. And Rumi remarks he's already helped her, actually, as she spent her whole life keeping the secret in shame, and the more she kept the shame, the more it grew and grew. And she goes on to say that since meeting and talking with him, her voice is healed, and she doesn't understand why, actually.
I guess we can kind of guess, right? But it does seem to be, it has something to do with her opening up, perhaps, letting something out, perhaps, right? It's interesting because she's been all about building reinforcing the Golden Hanmoon, the Great Barrier, and now she's cracking her own barrier, and it seems to be healing her, right? Like she's going against what she's been taught, but it seems to be working. Mm-hmm. So yeah.
And this leads into another musical number, in fact, a duet between the two called Free. Where Rumi sings about how good Jinu has been for her and thinking about why it feels right to have let him in. And Jinu sort of sings along about how they could be free if they face their past and their patterns. It's a good song. It's another one that just has made its way up into recognition and whatnot. The soundtrack's on fire for this. I'll list some exact numbers or things later. But at the end of the song, Jinu remarks that he no longer hears Guima's voice, which is interesting.
Rumi and Jinu have a moment, right, where they really bond. And it's very cute. It's romantic. It's very sweet. And in this moment, he finally is free, maybe just briefly, from the torment of Guima, the constant needling voice, punishing him with his own failures. For a moment he is free, and so there's a little bit of hope, perhaps, maybe.
You may be right about the bracelet thing. I don't even think I even noted it down, but there is a point in one of these two meetings where an old woman essentially comes up and is like, "Oh, you two are so cute, and like, here, you want to get this, for your girlfriend?" And he's like, "Oh no, we're not like that, whatever." Yeah. And then as they're so awkward and stammering about it, the old woman just like frowns more and more, and then eventually just hands it to Rumi and goes, "Free, find yourself a better man." Which I loved. Jinu's
he's such a schmuck sometimes, and he's so stone cold. Just kind of. It's humorous to the audience, just ragging on Rumi for like, well, she showed up late for her own meeting. Like, no wonder you're still single. Like, damn, like meow, jeez.
But ultimately, he ends up with a bracelet, and Rumi gives it over to him and whatnot.
And it's real cute. Like Rumi has a bracelet, and he reaches out for it and grabs her wrist instead, and she's very taken aback by it. But he's just, again, another smoldering look, and it just he's feeling things. She's feeling things.
Yeah, both, and they get these slow motion love sequences like 3 or 4 times throughout the film. Yeah. It's cute. It's a very K romance drama thing motif on that. Jinu at the end of the song says after he can't see Guima's voice that he'll make sure the Saja boys lose tomorrow, so he's bought into the plan for the Idol Awards. He thinks, maybe if we do this Golden Hanmoon thing, then I will be saved. I'll be free after, singing about being free. So,
but then gets summoned back to the underworld.
Right after he says he can't wait to see her on stage tomorrow, he's sucked back in the demon realm. Dropped in front of Guima.
And Guima is not pleased with this, and this is where we the audience we finally have revealed to us the real past of Jinu's, what his secret shame actually is, and as we discover, his story to Rumi is a lie, and there's a very important detail here. He sold his family out. He took a devil's bargain only for himself, leaving his family behind, had his wonderful time in the palace before he was then dragged into the underworld. But yeah, his act was the most ultimately selfish.
Yeah, and Guima throws it in his face. He remarks to him, like, you thought you could really be free for a moment, and you think you could escape what you are, essentially.
Yeah, and this is... We can now really understand why Genu is so intrigued by the idea of Rumi maybe escaping the fate that he suffers from, right?
And by getting his memories gone, because the first story didn't seem that bad. Like, I mean, it's obviously a gut wrenching memory to like have your family kicked out and all this stuff. But when you were the cause of it, and when you're the one that betrayed your own family and caused their potential death, starvation, then that shame is going to ring in your ears for hundreds of years, as he's had happen.
Yeah, and it's kind of highlights the difference really between Genu and Rumi. Rumi was born this way. Hers was not a fate that she chose, right? Her father is a demon. Wasn't her choice though. This is just her fate. But Genu's fate is his own. He's so interested in redemption, perhaps for that reason, right? Because he sold his soul. He brought this on himself, and so whether or not he actually has hope, it's a good question, as we see in this scene. He might not. So,
and as the quote says, I mean, he could choose to have hope. You get to decide that. But Guima, he just says, don't forget our deal, because I can also turn the voices up instead of turning them off. And so... Well, this is immediately followed in a parallel sort of by Celine saying nothing can change until Rumi's patterns are gone, paralleling the message Genu just got about being unable to escape rather what you are, and ultimately that they need to escape what they are.
We saw Genu tormented by Riwa, and now we see Rumi once again tormented by the voice in her head. Once again, this well-meaning, well-intentioned advice, but as at this point, we definitely see the toll it's taken on her for sure. It by wanting her to cover up these signs of what she is, Celine has kind of doomed her to be isolated, like just terribly isolated and alone. And so, the consequences of this are becoming apparent.
It's certainly interesting having them back to back. And Genu and Demons things don't map nearly quite as readily onto the queer thing, whatever. I mean, you can interpret it in certain ways, but it's stretching further. The Rumi thing certainly is a big one, and the Celine one we'll talk about later. There's a scene that has brought me to tears both times, essentially.
Let's see.
I've cried a lot at this movie. I've cried 5 movies in my life, but this one super gets me for some reason, because they really do a great job with the songs and whatnot and how it's happened. The movie actually has 2 directors. One of them, they co-wrote the screenplay, but Maggie Kang is the actual sort of creator of this. And the other director that sort of got on the project, his name is Chris Applehands. He was a lot more of an animation veteran, and especially part of why he came on was to help with the songs and sort of integration of it, and I think they do a great job. So the tag team of them is just great in that.
I was steely in my resolve until the last song.
Yeah.
and then I got a little misty eyed at the last song. It finally got me.
That's so good. It really is good at driving emotions, through song, through what's going on, because it's a great balance. There's very funny things in this movie. There's extremely touching things in this movie. And so it's very easy to see why people. It's just taking the world by storm in this, and we'll talk more about that. The next thing that happens we have is Huntrix has a band meeting, and they end up agreeing that Takedown is not the song to sing for the awards, as it definitely won't unite their fans if it's not even uniting them as a band.
And we have this moment where they're just talking about their fears of rejection, right? We have Mira talking about how she is a hard-edged badass, and that this has always been a real liability in her life, except of course amongst Huntrix. Like the one time when it hasn't been. And Zoe is she's precocious and hyper. She's a lot but again, not with Huntrix. Interestingly enough, Rumi could have been the third and final one to divulge a terrible, bit of pain, but doesn't.
Yeah, she's not ready to be vulnerable still, even though her friends have done that with her. And I mean, it's, I don't know. Yeah, it's tough there, and that
she's still struggling.
She's still committed at this moment to her plan of the Han Moon and making the demon and patterns go away.
Yeah.
However, she does suggest maybe then go to the bathhouse after the Idol Awards, indicating she is closer to being able to share her secret and be as vulnerable with her friends as they just were, but not quite, because she doesn't really.
But she's hoping after Golden that she'll have nothing to hide.
It's gone. Yeah.
That her problems will have been just magically solved. So,
once again, she's hoping pray away the gay works or whatever. It's gone, and so now, I'm healed or whatever. I'm fixed. I'm normal, and so we can go to the bathhouse and stuff. Which is ironic because that's usually where the gays go. But
exactly.
And they're talking. They ultimately agree to sing "Golden" at the awards, and then we see a promo for it in the two bands where the presenter says. And I wrote this line down because it made me laugh a whole lot. There's only two, apparently, bands there because they're talking about both bands, the Saja Boys and Huntrix. But then he says, every snowflake is special, but one snowflake is probably the best.
That's a pretty good line. really pointed on thick there. Yeah, good.
So they're at the show. They sort of have a backstage moment where they walk past each other but not really look at each other. They don't say anything. They're rivals.
Give each other a brush off. Yeah.
Yeah, but the Saja Boys are apparently fighting because they're supposed to be up first, and then it doesn't go off, and then they're alerted to the fact that you guys need to go on now because the Saja Boys are fighting.
Yeah. The Saja Boys appear to be in disarray, and so it's unexpectedly time for Huntrix to go on first. With Golden, the song they've chosen, we get more great shots of the crowd. We get this one dude who's he's just really feeling himself as he's mouthing along with the lyrics. It's just, he's so in love with this moment. It's great. Again, I love the shots of the crowd in this film. All the people in the crowd are animated and they all have their own personality.
They're so invested. They're so funny.
It's good production. Good.
It's delightful. So they start, the Golden starts up, and they start together on stage, but eventually Rumi's on stage solo. Mira and Zoe go back off while she's doing her solo there. However, only 20 seconds before Mira and Zoe are due to be back on stage, they see Bobby get kidnapped by demons down the hall, and so they rush towards that.
Yeah.
And
Rumi is at this point in like a chair or something, like floating across the stadium. So
she's in like a ring floating. Like you've ever seen somebody sit down like a Violet Chachki, like a cabaret show fly up in the air.
It's like a golden ring.
Or like a Cirque du Soleil type thing. It says it's soaring all around the stadium.
Yeah, so she's completely distracted by the high point of the song. Meanwhile, as we then discover, Mira and Zoe have fallen for a ruse. It is, in fact, a demon impersonating Bobby, and they have been lured away from the main stage because of what's about to go down on the main stage. We get the evil version of Takedown, and. Yeah.
Which Rumi doesn't know anything's happening. She's singing, finishes up her solo, and she sees a flicker again of Golden Han Moon. And so, but all she knows is that in, that 20 seconds or whatever, Mira and Zoe are coming on stage. And they do, but as we find out quickly, it's not them because they're shoving her around. They're saying mean things to her to a degree. These are dark versions.
They're doing the song Takedown, but they're singing it with a real hard edge.
They sing it at her, essentially. They flip it on her for sure. And it's all of her fears because now... this is what she feared the whole time. This is why she didn't want to come out, because she assumed they would turn their hate for demons on her.
Exactly. They appear to be doing the takedown on her. The lyrics very much pointed at her, and we see them. these are basically mean girl versions of Mira and Zoe. They're leaning in and making accusatory whispers and talking about her secret demonic markings, and calling her out for being half demon, and just it's evil mean girls moment here on stage in the midst of this song.
And they end up ripping off her jacket, which reveals her patterns. And again, we're not sure regular people can see this. I'm not sure. They kind of react badly still, but it's more to the fact that Huntrix appears to be fighting on stage is what they see, whereas Rumi's like, oh no, if my friends see me, or she thinks they already have because she's still not sure what's going on here. And the dark versions tell her that she's a mistake and that she has been since the day she was born. And so this is all of her fears essentially coming to roost right on this stage here.
Yeah.
This is why she was not vulnerable, and it's all happening.
It's just total nightmare scenario. Let's see.
So the real Mira and Zoe do make it to the stage, and they see Rumi covered in patterns as she's been essentially outed against her will as another sort of mapping on thing here.
Yeah, she gets outed. We talk about the affinity with the queer narrative here. This is this is probably the most powerful resonant moment is the spectacle of being outed against one's will.
It's that moment in many movies where you're brought to your lowest as the main character, because it's absolutely what's happening here. And Rumi rushes off stage. She's distraught, of course, where she meets actual Mira and Zoe, but she's covered in these bright pink demon patterns.
Yeah, they're flaring at full blast at this point. She has her right eye or left eye, it has the demonic yellow glow to it. But just one though,
right?
Only one of her eyes has it. But
her pupil blew out into a demon, thing there or something.
So she's really presenting demonic characteristics at this point, for sure.
And Rumi is confused because she's like, "How are you even here? You were just on stage." But then immediately realizes those versions weren't real and says, "Oh, thank goodness!" as she steps toward them. But Mira and Zoe take a step back when she does. They are not ready quite to accept her, or really aren't sure what's happening. This is the first moment they've sort of seen this, and they're hunters. They're anti-demon.
And Rumi's fumbling out an explanation of her scheme with Genu, and it just makes her seem suspicious and complicit and very, very suspect. It doesn't go well. They get even more apprehensive about her. It's just the nightmare is coming real.
And I mean, presumably they've been together for years. We saw them as children and stuff, and so they're like, "You've been hiding this from us the whole time," and feel betrayed in that regard as well. And they're shocked to hear she's been working with Genu. They're like, "You're working with Genu? What? You mean the guy we're trying to take down, literally with our takedown?"
So they don't really know what to do, but they very kind of reluctantly they draw their weapons. They battle ready themselves very, very, very reluctantly. They look absolutely exhausted, but their weapons are up, and
And Rumi says, "I can still fix it," essentially, and pink demonic lines ripple outward, which Mira and Zoe can see.
She has another outburst of demonic rage in this moment of frustration. So
Mira brings her spear to bear, as you mentioned, and Zoe sadly does the same with her little knives, as a sad violin version of Golden plays in the background.
So Rumi runs off looking for Genu. Is running around the backstage. It's kind of like a labyrinth at this point to her, but finally finds him, confronts him about what happened, and Genu is just dead on the inside. No emotion, just ice cold.
As she finds him, he's fully covered in patterns. He's with the fake Mira and Zoe, who are immediately revealed to be demons. We pretty much knew that, but it's just it's official now.
That he then unsummons back to the underworld after their role has been played.
And Rumi says she knows Genu's story and that he's a good person, but Genu finally reveals to her that he left his family and that he only made a deal to himself to get out of his miserable life. He left him starving while he slept on silk sheets, had a full belly every night, and he goes on to say, "All we get to do is live with our pain, our misery. That's all we deserve."
Yeah.
which is bleak, but is again the message many queer people or various things are delivered. Especially if you can't change and you're told you can, then that's what you get. You get to live with your pain, your misery, your shame, all of this that is heaped upon you because the voices in your ear are being piped in, essentially. He's still got those. He's still got all that going on.
Yeah, and this is, again, affinities with the queer saga when the only potential allies you have are also the ones who are struggling with self-hatred and repression and whatnot. And so the only person she could even open up to is now just utterly consumed with hopelessness and despair and yeah.
That line's hit me extremely hard both times I've seen the film. Is at my lowest points as a closeted gay, steeped in religion all around me. I believed that. I tried to change, I couldn't, and was left thinking the absolute worst of myself because of it. I believed I deserved it somehow to a degree, and she does too because she's lost all of her friends and she's lost the one guy she could actually talk to about this now, and so she's devastated. And we see the blue sort of Han Moon lines turn pink as Huntrix plummets down the chart too. Bobby's watching this. And the Han Moon comes apart, essentially.
It breaks the barrier between the human world and the demon world has ended, and everyone in the streets is now hearing the horrible, nagging voice of doubt that is Guiwa. They're all being tempted with his enticing proposition of solving their problem. Whatever
we hear his voice in a lot
is.
of people's ears now is the thing.
Yeah. Whatever it is that is their failure, he can fix. Whatever is the missing piece, he is the solution. It's
join me. A lot of this stuff.
Yeah. And they're all kind of enthralled by it. The people look a little stupefied.
Well, there's pink in these scenes. Again, in the visual motif, all of these are very pink scenes as this happens because the Han Moon's down, the blue lines are down. And so everybody's sort of tinged in pink, like a very Euphoria, working with color situation. And we see a newscaster on a big screen announce that the Saja Boys win all the Idol Awards. And the demons are growing in power here because of that. The Saja Boys come on an enormous pink screen even, talking about how they're sad about the Huntrix breakup, but that they're putting on a live show tonight, so you should be there at least. You guys should all come.
And they appear on a screen and then kind of emerge from the screen, floating as like a freestanding image. They are, flexing their power completely at this point, and they are luring everyone to the concert at the end of the world, basically.
Right, to this giant pink bug light of a tower where these hordes of people are just shuffling because they do get a bit zombified in this. But we see Guima start to talk to Bobby, and that one's not really commentable. But Tamira, the voices where Guima's talking says, "You thought you found a family? You don't deserve one. You never have." Essentially playing on her exact fear that she laid out earlier for being vulnerable.
And it comes at Zoe with similar fears of rejection, and
he says to Zoe, "You're too much and not enough. You'll never belong anywhere."
Yeah, and so they're kind of enthralled by this power of desolation and hopelessness.
We don't get a lot of Celine throughout the movie, but it throws it to her at this moment. She's kind of looking up at the tree, the world, the sky, and seeing the pink breaking through and whatnot. And this is the scene that destroys me, frankly, both times.
It's a rough scene. Rumi is confronting Celine about everything Celine has taught her about desperately hiding everything that is demonic about you, hiding it, concealing it, keeping it all in, and Rumi's just not having it anymore. This failed.
And we see Rumi show up again. She's very, she's in full pink patterns mode. She's got the one eye. She is a broken person.
Her voice resonates. But Celine, she just doesn't have anything new to offer. She's stuck in her ways. She has this one solution, and even in the face of it failing, she just doesn't know what to do or what else to say.
And it's so Celine turns around and she finds Rumi, and who says she couldn't fix it, that the others saw, and that this is what she is. Rumi further tells Celine she knew what Rumi was from the start, a mistake, and offers up her sword to Celine to do what she should have done a long time ago, aka kill her.
Yeah.
Celine says she can't, and that she swore to protect what was left of her mother, but never expected it to be a child like Rumi. And again, a child like Rumi is easy to...
Yeah. No, exactly. It's
easy to read into that. It's like, I never expected to have a gay child or something of that nature. And so this whole thing, again, of all the things it can map onto the queer experience, the gay, the whatever, the coming out, this is like... This is one-to-one. This is absolutely...
And honestly, it could even map onto a biracial experience.
And that's, I've absolutely seen people write about that as well.
Yeah,
but where it breaks down a little bit, and that is part of the shame or certain other things. You're not often directly like shamed for that. It's a...
Well,
but she keeps talking about how she's born with it, too.
Yeah,
I mean,
and
she's half demon that. So I don't disagree. There's like the X-Men are many things, you can map them onto certain things. And I mean, like, again, I mentioned there are many people that find this just the being authentic, the whatever, like having something that they want to share with people that they think will get them disowned, whether that's queerness or not. And so it's not, I don't want to claim like, just a monopoly on this whole situation and movie, but it is a very, very, very easy to map. And this scene in particular is the one that just crushes me because it's so akin to my own stuff that I faced.
The film, it never says no to the affinities that we're talking about. It just, because in many ways it really just very simply traces the form of this narrative, right? Of repression, of hiding of something intrinsic about yourself in the face of a society that might hate it. It's that pattern is so well presented that it readily allows for the sharing of that space.
So. The scene.
I know.
Celine goes on to say, everything I was taught told me that you were wrong, but I made a promise, so I did my best to accept you and help you, which can map right onto a religious parent, essentially being like, I was taught this was wrong, but because you are my child, essentially I put up with it, or I tried to find a way for you to hide it, to not be destroyed by the world or whatever. It's Celine has her own, like you said, she's stuck in her way. She's trying to help or to solve this to a degree, but she doesn't understand.
She's trying as best as she understands.
Because Rumi, right after that, says, accept me, like you told me to cover up, to hide. And Celine retorts with like, yes, until we can fix everything, and we still can. We can cover those up, we can put everything right again. Which again, the same thing.
We can pray harder. Yeah, exactly. Oof. Yeah.
But Rumi says, no more hiding, no more lies. Like, don't you get it? This is what I am. Look at me. Why can't you look at me? Why couldn't you love me?
Yeah, I know. It's. Yeah, this is why at this final song I just like, okay, I'm gonna cry. Geez.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll make it through this without it. It's frankly,
it's like, okay, here it comes. Yeah.
And Celine, to her credit, says I do, but Rumi responds, all of me.
Yeah,
which is a thing that if you came out as a gay, queer, whatever person to a religious family, they'll often say something like that. They're like, I love the sinner, hate the sin, or such.
Geez. Yeah, you beat me to it. Yeah, jeez.
And so it's like,
God.
That's so great that you love part of me, or that you said this really shitty thing to me, but like, what about loving all of me?
Yeah. Cool, you think this intrinsic thing about me that I was born with and is natural and good is evil. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you, my family, like question mark. Yeah. And just also, you would talk about affinity. Mira and the families we choose. That's a gay narrative right there. If there ever was one, right? Like this quality about her that is so off-putting to the rest of the world is not amongst the hunters. It's like, I can feel that.
And many gays, like Zoe's told her too much and not enough.
Exactly. Yeah. yeah. Again, the affinity is so it just the film allows it, just allows it at every turn. Yeah, like 100%. Yeah. So we find Rumi.
Well,
Just whatever's left of Rumi. She makes it to the continent at the end of the world.
hang on.
Yeah.
I suppose. So after she says like all of me and that she wants to be loved, Celine says at that point like, this is why we have to hide it, to protect the Han Moon. Yeah. And Rumi says, if this is the Han Moon I'm supposed to protect, I'm glad to see it destroyed.
Yeah. Like yeah. We have this moment where everything is gone. Everything is gone, and when we finally see Rumi again, she emerges just kind of in a field of darkness, right? She's at the concert venue. The Saja boys are in their witch boy outfits. The crowd is pouring in enthralled. Guimal is we see him later center stage. It's just everything failed. Everything failed. Everything they were trying to do to keep up appearances and to do what they thought was right, it failed, and it's gone. And we just find Rumi just seemingly broken. She's just her affectation is flat, and there's no life to it. And she's agreeing with Guima that she had this shame. And,
well, she's been failed, and I mean, if I pause at that scene for a moment, it's just it legitimately brought me to tears both times. It's just like it is a absolute parallel conversation I've had with my religious parents and with religious authority figures, because the first 2 times I came out was essentially shoved right back in and told I could fix it. The first was with my father, who told me not to even tell my mother, which was like, oh, like, so when Celine's like, you can't even tell the people closest to you that you love and whatnot.
Yeah.
That's pretty brutal. And the second was with some preachers I told, essentially like a youth minister that I liked, and that landed me in religious therapy and in the infamous Exodus Ministry sphere. And to the listeners, thankfully, this is a defunct organization now that the leaders fully recanted, essentially. But what it was an ex-gay, an anti-gay religious institution that told people, look, I've changed. I was gay, but I've changed, and you can too, which was a lie, again, eventually. But this was pushed upon a decade or more of gay people, and they believed it because that's what they were told by the authority figures or whatnot, and by the world around them and that.
Yeah, and just, just in case you're not gay, just in case you are a straight ally watching this show, this was a psychological torture operation. Like, to call it a conversion camp, that really kind of elides in papers over. It was psychological torture, constant, unrelenting psychological torture with some physical abuse, but primarily by way of just constant psychological and mental abuse. So.
Yeah, I was in, because there were physical events, but they had these message boards too, and there were people like white knuckling their gayness. Like, they would be like, I haven't jerked off in like this many days, and they're like, there were guys in there that were like, I wrestled with my straight roommate or whatever, and I like got aroused. I'm struggling or whatever. Like, the language they would use to each other and stuff was just like fucked up because it was brutal. Like, and they just. They were self-flagellating gay men who perpetuated a very harmful lie that hurt those like them deeply, and they empowered these Christian institutions to peddle lies about how you can change LGBT people, essentially. And so that scene just rocked me both times.
Yeah, absolutely. And we see this on Rumi's face. We see it just all over her body. Everything about her is just flat and kind of dead. And just when we think that it couldn't be any more hopeless, it's in this space of having nothing left that she finds the hope. She finally figures out what she needs to do, and it's to create a new status quo, essentially, right? The idea of some golden barrier. No, she now understands that can't be what we do now, right?
this isn't Celine's way. It's not going to work, essentially. Or I've been lied to. Like, I've been told I can change and I can't and such. And
exactly.
There is a bit before she pops back up. You mentioned the Saja boys in their wide-brimmed black hats and their black clothes, which is a good time to mention because they're popping up. They're starting to sing their song, their concert. They've gotten their hordes of people here.
Yeah, but we get a song "Idol."
There's a deeper meaning to the name Saja Boys, though, before we go past the wide-brimmed black hat stuff, because the Korean word Saja can mean lion, and we see their logo and branding, of course, includes that. However, in Korean folklore, Jeoseong Saja are Grim Reaper figures who escort the souls of the dead to the afterlife, and typical depictions of them they're shown wearing a black hanbok and a wide-brimmed hat, just like the Saja Boys in their demon form. So it goes deeper. There's a little double meaning in that as well. We've just seen the lion of it all, but if you were a new Korean, you might have picked up on that sooner, perhaps.
Little bit of some folklore, some mythology.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so Guima asks Gino if he's ready to forget and says he's ready to feast because he has been brought now hordes of people, and for all he knows, the hunters are done. Like, he's beat them. He's separated them. His plan worked. He's nailed it. He's much bigger because you don't really notice it at first. I mean, you called it out. He is small in the beginning, but you wouldn't know that until you see this later iteration of him being huge and hit the power he has gained essentially in this world.
Yeah.
And as he's asking Genu that, and Genu also is pretty dead inside looking, we see Derpy nuzzle his hand, and he's got the bracelet in his mouth earlier that Rumi gave him. And so he kind of looks at it and doesn't react necessarily right away. But we see hordes of people chanting Saja coming in the giant stadium as this is all happening, holding pink lion batons. And yes, this is where as you call it, the song "Your Idol," another massively global song.
Yeah, and it's a great song, especially for that scene too. It's a song about just having your unrequited desires fulfilled by your idol, how your idol solves all your problems and fulfills all your needs. And as the song progresses, it's about how you are dominated and consumed by it.
And that's where we get the set the world on fire part of the song and whatnot. Now that we have giant flaming, Guima in the background. And the pink flames spike as the Saja boys float up into the air, where the fans, some of them look a little bit like, oh, well, that's weird. I didn't,
Yeah.
But they're also singing about how no one is coming to save you. So this is what sets up Rumi's entering of the stadium, though, at the back.
Yeah.
And she appears to stand against it, but like you said, she's pretty broken. She's alone because we saw Mira and Zoe are in the crowd, but they're enthralled in this way, and so she's standing up still for what she thinks she's come to fight. But Guima says, "You've come here to fix the world. You can't even fix yourself," which is rude.
Meow, Guima. Damn.
I says that everyone sees her for what she really is, that the Hanmoon's gone, and Rumi agrees, but says we can make a new one. And this leads into the sort of final song, another massive mega global hit called "This Is What It Feels Like."
Or "This Is What It Sounds Like." Yeah.
And as Rumi starts off and is going in, the basic gist of the song's lyrics here are, this is the song we couldn't write and sort of meant to when we were writing Takedown, because Mira and Zoe join and bring their own verse and whatnot. But this is
it's just nothing but the truth now. It's a song about the power of truth. How it liberates, how it empowers one, how it lifts you up. Great song.
It's a great song. Again, the music, the lyrics do a great job of driving this stuff forward. It's not just silly nonsense for the most part. And so Guima objects to this, obviously, and portals open up with tons of demons crawling towards them that they have to fight through. The fighting's great in this movie also. They really do a great job animating. But they have to fight through hordes of demons to meet in the middle of the stage, because the stage is sort of a T, like a little runway on the whatnot. And they each start at the base of the T and the two tops, and they have to fight through to meet each other in the middle, where they embrace eventually.
There are three paths that lead to the center, and they're all slowly, majestically walking towards it, slashing demons. And the song is also very much about power of unity and belonging and yeah, it's just. Oh yeah, no. This is where oh yeah.
This got you.
It did. It did.
Oh,
yeah,
that's so cute. Yeah, and so they meet in the middle of the stage and they do embrace, essentially, displaying the visual motif of that unity and that they've made it together and they're going to fight through this together. And they fully accept Rumi for what she is, obviously. And I mean, they know, because it was communicated earlier, that they also need to be accepted and they need their own community and love. And so,
and there's and just this is where the thematics are really rich in the film, right? We have all these motifs of barriers, right? Of barriers being put up supposedly to protect us, but they don't. They don't protect us. They make us terribly vulnerable by isolating us, right? So what we think are walls that protect us, no, it's prison. Like we are in fact in the underworld. We are trapped away in hell, like this hell of being alone and being tormented by a terrible secret and by fear of the world and society and fear of rejection, you know. But this time instead of just putting a wall, we're going to the source. We're going to the source this time, right? We're not going to try to hide it. We're gonna address what our fear is. Right?
And it's, I mean, you've called it out. It's isolation stuff. This is the moment where they both sort of defeat isolation and shame because they've come together and they have accepted each other for what they are.
Yeah. Yeah, they are both united and fully in truth.
They've literally turned off the voices inside their head telling them they're not good enough and stuff.
Exactly. Yeah, they defeat with love. With love, and it's you know, in what a great film to make that a powerful, majestic moment instead of something corny and cheesy. Right, but it's the triumphant power of love. Like, great, yeah, love it.
And hot on the heels of that, I mean, on the girls reuniting, the next thing that happens is Mira and Zoe are kind of still fighting demons, and Guima becomes even larger and manifests a giant maw that shoots pink fire at Rumi, saying he cannot be defeated. And so Mira and Zoe essentially have to look on and are unable to help. However, as Rumi is being pushed to her knees by her blue shield against the pink fire, Jinu jumps in front of it.
Yeah. This is like when our fears and doubts can no longer get to us with whispers. They just come at us with fire and fury, right? And that is what we are seeing literally happening, right? The great evil, which is, as we've seen in this film, this being that feeds on fear and pain, is making itself obvious in this last desperate attempt to become victorious. And we see Rumi kind of buckling under the strain, as we've seen her buckle under all kinds of strain. Right? It's a very symbolically fulfilling moment, right? And just when you think that she just can't keep going on with all is on her, Jinu shows up to be the hero that we were hoping that he would be this whole time. In a
direct rebuttal of what we were told immediately about him on his introduction, that he's never done a non-self-serving thing in his life. He sacrifices himself for somebody else.
Yeah, exactly.
In a way he could not or did not for his family.
Yeah, he puts himself in between the fire and Rumi. He body blocks it. He holds out as long as he can. He in a very, very poignant moment, he declares that Rumi, regardless of her doubts, did in fact set him free, and that he, as much as can happen, he has reclaimed a soul or something. He says that she gave him his soul back, and then now he gives it to her. Yeah, and by way of the bracelet, like we see, it kind of magically wraps itself around her arm,
and like the blue, the little blue comet that we've seen represent souls in the movie sort of starts to orbit her and whatnot. It's and we also see in this moments it's the crowd sort of starts getting into it more because Mira and Zoe also get some blue reinforcement around them.
The crowd is starting to become de-enchanted by, you know, we see the flicker of blue starting to flash on them as they're being snapped out of their fugue state with the reuniting of Huntrix. So yeah.
And so Genu dissolves. He's gone.
He gets incinerated. But he does save the day at a crucial moment.
He got his redemption arc, and I mean, he was inspired by Rumi and the fact that she didn't hear the voices in her head to a degree.
Yeah.
And he also saw a different way, a different path through her, that you didn't have to necessarily be ashamed, that you could try to make things better. They
both had to undergo a kind of annihilation of sorts, right? Rumi had to just more or less be destroyed emotionally to reemerge as the hero that she is. And likewise, you know, Genu has to be destroyed in order to finally have his redemption, right? They both emerge, you know, cleansed, you know, in a way. Genu cleansed by fire, you know, but transformed, absolutely. And the final climactic moment, right? The Huntrix, they reunite and are flying towards Jiwa, right?
They do Guima. They do start to fly through the air. I don't really know. I mean, they did skydive and land without so much as a broken ankle, I suppose.
Yeah,
but,
the moment is kind of bringing them aloft to finally extinguish the flame, right? And with truth and beauty and love.
And we also, before Guima himself is fully snuffed out and extinguished, we see the death of the other Saja boys who did not self-sacrifice for them. We see Zoe get mystery and like pull his hair back and look, and she goes, you're my exact type. Too bad, and then slices through, which is cute. And then,
stabby stab. Yeah, exactly.
Mira gets to Abby and is like, "No more abs."
Yeah.
And cuts a little ab pattern in his abs to kill him. Like,
They get one last look before sending them back to hell.
Stupid sexy demons.
Yeah. They're so dreamy. I don't know who's the cutest. Anyway,
but as Guima's taken out and the Saja boys are, we see the pink and black atmosphere wink out as the world becomes normal colored again, and blue Hanmoon lines sort of pop out.
But the Hanmoon is a different color this time. It's a composite of pink and blue. Like you're expecting it. Oh, it's going to be golden. That's what they've been trying to do this entire time. No, it's a mix. It's like Rumi. It's both simultaneously.
And notably, Rumi's patterns are not gone. And so in this solution, she did not have to change herself to fit somebody else's expectations of what she should be. She was not hiding any longer, and so it is a great metaphor in that regard too. And so
she didn't have to change herself. She just had to change the world, and did. So there you go.
And I mean, it's another. I mean, when mapping to religion and what religion tells you that are wrong, and especially the queer thing, she was told all her life, this is the one way it has to be. This is how we solve it, and we're going to aspire to this. That's the only thing I'm going to do. But she finds her authentic way. She does find her own way through it, and with her friends and stuff. Again, the chosen family, the people she's connected with along the way. So it's sweet.
Absolutely, yeah, and the aftermath, we see them at the bathhouse finally.
Rumi's finally joined them, and the girls all share a moment where they cry and blubber, where they meet each other cutely. It's very sweet, where they're like, "I just love you, I love you."
Zoe very bluntly states, "Glad you didn't die." just ooh, wow.
You didn't die, Rumi.
So are we all.
And they leave the bathhouse and they're again chanting, "Couch, couch, couch," as we see a trash can full of Saja Boys merch. However, as they're doing that, again, the couch may not be in their future, because they see 3 cute younger girl fans in full Huntrix gear and say they thought they wanted couch, but that it can wait as they go to meet their fans. And then we see Sussy and Derpy on the last shot. That's the very ending there, where presumably they would have narrated and then this was the end of the Huntrix's whatever or something.
Exactly.
Or derping. And then this was the end. I don't know what this tiger's voice would have sounded like, but bless him. He's so cute. His eyes are pointing in opposite directions at the end of this movie. Like, he's terribly cute. He's like the chicken in Moana, and you've seen little hey.
Exactly. That was a very derpy chicken.
Yeah,
exactly. So, what a wonderful film. Very touching. And for some very personal reasons, we felt a tremendous affinity, for sure. Let's talk about the animation style.
Sure.
Yeah, I love this style. It's a combination of kind of low frame rate characters moving like their material, like their material animatronic dolls.
Right. It's not like stop motion, but that's how I would describe it too. They're dropping frames essentially.
It's kind of stop motion-y, stop motion-esque. You know, it evokes the materiality of stop motion animation, right, which is done with, you know, traditionally like clay or whatnot. It's very material, and the stop motion kind of low frame rate, it's because of the immense labor that goes in the making it, right? So it just has a very material quality, which they evoke with the way that they animate and way they kind of like color shade the actual like human like characters in it. And that's set against a background that it kind of has a high frame rate. There's a very kind of fluid style to the background, but then this kind of material quality to the characters. It's neat. I liked it.
It's super cool. It's very, as I mentioned, they did the Spider-Verse films, and that does it very well also. Yeah. I don't remember if Mitchell vs. the Machines had quite the same thing. I think it had some of it, but it's very noticeable. Like, they are kind of dolls moving to a degree, but it's not like... I don't know. There's certain movies where they're almost animated too perfectly, or things go through. Yeah, they're not Disney-fied in the way this.
It's not like Pixar where the movement is very fluid. You know, it's. It's
a stylistic choice, but one that I think ultimately plays out great for them. Frankly,
I liked it. It was a nice quality. Yeah,
just the way the demons move, the way the girls move and stuff, the way the hair even moves or such. Because you have great hair in this movie.
There is great CGI hair, and that's always something I look for in CGI because hair is very difficult to do well. And this, really good hair.
Yeah, Rumi's big old purple. Bouffant. What is the thing like the pop up? Her little. She's got to bump it in there or something, and then her big ponytail.
Kind of a bun-like thing. Yeah.
You mentioned, the Mystery's hair's all in his eyes. Yeah. Where you get Mira and Zoe.
Exactly, yeah.
Baby's little blue hair.
Let's see, what are some other good elements that we... What have we not touched in yet?
There's a solid 14 minutes of credits, I'll at least say. Because this is... We'll call out that, like, the voice actors' voices are not the same as the singers' voices.
Yeah, these are different.
It would be incredible if they were, but in the credits, you do see the girls recording the song Takedown, the actual singers of the song and whatnot, and I have their names in here. Yeah. It's... the singing voice for Rumi was by EGAA, perhaps EGA, but I can probably look that up. Mira was done by, her singing voice was Audrey Nuna, and Zoe's was by Ray Amy. And then you even have like Genu done by Andrew Choi, and then Mystery Saja, Kevin. There's all over. And so these are great. They do such a good job of it, and obviously these are chart-topping songs. Again, I will get to that very, very soon.
Yeah, we've gushed about the music, and we're going to gush a little bit more. The music it's so good. The songs are super catchy. They're fun, and also just in the film, they're very context enriching. You know, their lyrics are very ironic a lot of times. You know, all the Saja Boys films are kind of about drinking your soul.
And it's funny because like I have friends that are parents that talk about like their kids love this, especially the girls and whatnot. And so they've heard these songs over and over and over, and some of them took them to see the sing-along version, and they talked about how like, oh, now that I like see the lyrics down there, they're like, these are parts of the song I didn't understand because it's in Korean, it's in a wholly different language. They were like, I just always thought that was a weird part to the song. Like,
the sound didn't glitch. No, it's like some of the lines are in Korean. Korean. So yeah. So if you're wondering why you just don't understand the English, that's why. So
yeah, this it ended up surpassing, like I said, Saturday Night Fever and Waiting to Exhale, each of which had 3 songs in the top 10 simultaneously.
Oh, Waiting to Exhale. Yeah, that's another one with an incredible soundtrack. Oof, yeah.
It is, as of September 8th, Golden has been number 1 for multiple consecutive weeks, and I believe for 8 weeks running, it's been number 1.
Yeah.
And this came out in June again, so like it had a big surge at the beginning, but this has like staying power right now.
What's your favorite song?
It's Golden. I don't have.
Mine is definitely What It Sounds Like.
I've had people say that.
I really like that song. I think it's great music, but the lyrics they're good. Yeah, good lyrics.
They have a lot of bops in there. Yeah,
Yeah,
Golden specifically is in my rotation heavily. I hear it everywhere, like I said, frankly, as well. And I'm like, yes, good. So we go by the same September 8th measurements. So many of the rest of the songs are also charting extremely high. Below Golden, the Saja Boys hit Soda Pop is usually it's fluctuating between 3 and 4. Your Idol is it like 4 to 6, kind of popping it up. Both of them reached number 3 at their peak. So again, the global charts, these things reach number 3. And Hendrix's How It's Done backtracked this week to number 7 from its number 5 high, and What It Sounds Like fell to number 9 from its number 7 best. But that's 5 songs from one movie.
There's a lot of top tenors there.
And the top global things. And they've been there for a while. So, like, if you haven't heard them, you probably have.
And,
you didn't know it.
And if you haven't, check it out. And like watch the movie and then immediately afterwards listen to the soundtrack because it's really good.
I remember 2 weeks after this movie came out, I saw like a DJ's TikTok or something where he's like, watch me like put Golden on and like put it in the mix for the dance floor. And as soon as he popped it on, there's just this massive chorus of, like, like, from the thing, and the DJ's like taken aback. He didn't expect it to be like that big, but it's like, oh my god,
that's awesome. Very good. Cool. Something else I wanted to note now that we got to the end of the film, going over the plot and story, and talking about this being a popular film, I'm glad this is a popular film, and especially I hope that it is to an American audience because, like the Saja Boys, they represent a masculinity that you don't really see in American animated media for sure, right? Mm-hmm. Their masculinity is they're pretty, they're good looking, their style is more about being cool and being agile. They're not hulking, kind of knuckle dragging, squinty-eyed American, just American animation, especially in portraying men, boys, masculinity. It's hard for it to not be toxic. It just unfortunately goes to this kind of knuckle dragging space, and it was nice just aesthetically to have a different presentation of masculinity in a film that's this popular. So
that's a good call out because I mean, like Justice for Twigs in America or something, or at least like a skinnier straight boy that can be anything but like a nerd. Because if you're presented in media as a skinnier like a man like that, you are
a pretty boy. You're assumed to be gay,
right?
That's it's just still kind of lurks there in the implication. Yeah. So yeah,
for sure. It was an interesting bit of that. I think we've kind of hammered the themes for the most part while we made it through here. I don't know if there's any you think we didn't hit. I have like Living Unashamed and Free. Again, there's just you map this onto so much as to like just having shame about something and basically having a secret you think will get you ostracized.
Yeah. But a secret that ultimately just has to come out, and the world and your place in the world in particular will be so much better for it, right? And in fact, it is the only solution, right? There are barriers, there's no point in building a wall. Let's not build that wall because it doesn't matter, right? The barrier, the wall, just it's our prison. It's not our sanctuary. and it's just, that's a great message. And
And I think, I mean, this comes with age for a lot of people, whether LGBT or not, in that sense, because as you grow up, as we saw young Rumi just take messages at face value, eventually she rejects that, ends up with her found family, and she leaves Celine.
Yeah.
She could go back, I'm sure. It's not like it's gone forever, but she rejects the messages of what she was taught and what Celine was taught in that way.
Yeah, no, it's a real coming of age story in the midst of this, cool film with fight scenes and demons and awesome songs. It's a touching coming of age story where someone young has these lessons from their parents and their elders, but they're confronted with a world that rejects them, and they have to discover their own wisdom about the world, right? It's a classic coming of age story, right?
And they have to, I mean, ideally, what happens with Rumi and what ideally happens with the people there is that they learn they don't have to kill parts of themselves to be accepted. They live authentically and then are accepted with the people that accept them.
Yeah, exactly.
Because Rumi's patterns, again, do not disappear. They're still there at the end, and they are embracing, and they are embraced. For that.
Exactly. Like they're no longer feared, but they're in fact, loved for what they are. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It'd be, I don't know if we can really find a gayest moment of the film because we have found so many, but I do have a catty one. And again, I alluded to this at the beginning, right? It's this with Genu. He's the, brooding figure, and I can fix him. I can fix him.
That's your just lusting after Genu moment. That was Tommy's being a gay moment.
He's so toxic. I'm in love.
Don't look up his voice actor. He's pretty hot too. It's the one you could harass in real life, I'm sure. But I have on gayest moment. If I were to have to pick the thing, I mean, I would pick the conversation with Celine and Rumi near the end of the movie, as sad as it is.
Ooh,
But if I were to pick a moment with more levity, I'd probably pick the abject enthusiasm for going to gender bathhouses.
Yes.
Which, this is the men's bathhouse.
Which, again, if you've never been to a Korean spa, go check it out. It's very nice.
Right, and they are different than the gay bath. At Korean spas, they have up signs that are like, "Don't do that. Please do not do this." So we jest, but different things. Did you have a straightest moment?
That's a good question.
I kind of loved just Zoe crushing on the Sasha boys the whole movie because she was just barely holding it back the whole time. She's just like, they're so pretty, but I hate them. That girl wanted to solve the mystery in Mystery Sasha's pants for sure.
Those are the fangirl moments for sure. Those are cute.
I thought it was cool too. Just like, I mean, the Maggie King, the director, talks about how she has lived long enough and seen that Korean culture has become cool now because there are a lot of elements about Korean stuff. I mean,
Korean media exports, they've been hot for a bit.
Yeah. Think Squid Game, think a bunch of these shows that have come across, because there's K-dramas, there's Korean zombie movies are a big thing. I mean, what is it, Train to Busan and whatnot? Parasite. Yeah. She cites Bong Joon-ho's films as an inspiration as well.
Yeah, Parasite, wow. We're going to have to review that at some point. That film just blew me away. Korean media exports have really been pretty awesome for sure.
And even more than just media stuff. Like, I mean, the food has made its way big here. I have people that just love Korean barbecue, love Korean corn dogs, love all this stuff. There's a big neighborhood, I mean, where I live, just called Koreatown, where there's just a ton of stuff to do there.
Here in the DFW metro area, Dallas Center especially, there's a large Korean community, and so.
Yeah, it's super. And I mean, the idol culture itself is unique in the sense that we really don't have a lot of boy bands or girl groups anymore here. It used to be more popular. The Backstreet, the NSYNC, Spice Girls, even from the UK.
Yeah, no, there was definitely a moment, but it kind of left the States and then finally left the UK. I mean, there's One Direction, but I'm trying to think of has there been a big boy band in UK since?
Oh man!
I don't know.
Well, One Direction. I mean,
yeah, but
since them,
beyond
you mean?
them, yeah. I don't know. Like, audience, write in with your favorite super modern and current boy band or girl band from the United States or the UK or whatnot, because this definitely does seem to be very much like a Japanese and like very very much a Korean phenomenon or Korean trend. As of late,
I don't know if they count as a boy band or a girl group, but the Drag Race UK season 1 and 2 had some good girl group challenges with Bang Bang Ball, Tang Talk, UK Hun.
Well, yeah. I mean, I guess we'll
get girl group challenges in Drag Race, really, but that's about the extent of it these days.
Maybe, yeah.
And I mean, I lament that to a degree because it is kind of sad to see just like solo artists really take the things by storm. The Taylor Swift, Sabrina Carpenters, which is fine, but I've always loved bands more because like they're just
we have plenty of idols, but we don't really have like idol groups as such. Unless I'm wrong, and like if someone point this out, if I've missed this, me missing a broad swath of American pop culture is not saying much. It's like that's something I do on a regular basis. So there you go.
But to that point, I mean, like we can't think of any not from like decades ago. But the director again, Maggie Kang, revealed that the Saja Boys were inspired by Korean boy bands such as TXT, BTS, Stray Kids, ATEEZ, Big Bang, and Monsta X, which is, you just rattle them off. And then the 3 members of Huntrix were modeled after K-pop girl groups like ITZY, Blackpink, and Twice, which some of those are referenced directly in the film. Whenever Huntrix is number 1 on the charts, Twice is 2. I think there's a Blackpink poster in the back or something. I'm actually wearing black and pink today just for this reason. Not that you can see that, listener, but just know I'm authentic.
You can feel it. Yeah.
So I mean, it's certainly a thing there, and I mean the parasocial aspects of it you do get with are the Swifties and stuff here, and the people that are just like salivating over her, or that are shaking the barriers, because at times Bobby's like, I am scared of these people. Do not leave me. Visualize that there aren't 10,000 screaming fans at the door, Bobby, and then the security guards go, there's 10,000 screaming fans at the door. Yes, so I mean, I'll praise we've hit some heavy, hard themes, with the sadness and the queerness and whatever. But I will say, this is, if you're not looking to be sad or if you're not looking for any of that, it is a very humorous and fun film too.
It's a super uplifting film. It's very fun. It has this really great note of hope and truth and the power of friendship and belonging. And it does so in a way that this never feels cloying or heavy-handed or super corny. It's very very light touch for the kind of the thematic structure and how rich it is. Very very good. Very well done.
This film has garnered over 210 million views, and frankly, I don't even know when this was that statistic was done, because it's still there to this day. I just checked. Right now, K-Pop Demon Hunters, having been out since June, is at the number 3 spot. Just last week, it was at the number 1 still. And the sing-along version is at 7 or 8, whereas last week it was 6. There's some Charlie Sheen movie or documentary rocking them out right now. But it's amazing the staying power this has had. And that's eventually, I mean, what got me to watch. I'm just like, why is this still here? And why do I hear this everywhere or something? But several Ks were like, it's so good. And like I said, parents with girls or whatever. I hear this all the time. I've seen this movie 18,000 times or whatever.
Oh yeah, no, we're gonna have a whole new tranche of parents going crazy over their kids watching animated film on repeat.
And I mean, I've seen people talk, that it's maybe Disney's on its laurels or whatever, because this isn't going to be the generation that grows up with Frozen or with something else, with the Beauty and the Beast, or all these musicals that we know all the words to and songs.
There's a lot more competition in this. In many ways, it's kind of a paradigm shift. This is a incredible English language, 90% of it musical that is totally outside of the traditional, venues for that we know of as Americans. And so, yeah, I'm all for it. I like the cross cultural exchange. Just the different thematics, the different aesthetics. Yeah. Yeah.
It's pretty crazy that if you were there at the beginning for this, like Netflix didn't really push this super hard. I don't think it knew what it had on its hands to a degree, because again, in just a few weeks, it became its biggest movie ever, and that's when they started to push merch or the soundtracks. Like they had people clamoring almost immediately for more songs and like stuff from these bands or whatever from these artists, and they were oh geez, and so they started to push stuff out there for that. They eventually did, like I said, the 2 days of the sing-along movie and made $18 million just for putting a movie they already had out there into the ether, whatnot, and earned them their #1 box office hit, which has never been done before by them. So I mean, kudos to them for eventually recognizing it, and I think they're going to milk this cash cow for 2 or 3 more movies, I imagine.
Oh, sure. I'm on board for a sequel.
Yeah, and I mean, it really wasn't until talking about this with you that I have to imagine it's going to be the Sunlight Sisters, the Father, the first one, the previous generation of this.
The previous generation, and it'll also be a great kind of like, they kind of look like they might have been like a early aughts kind of band. And so it'll be a great kind of like, throwback, like, kind of like, music style flashback opportunities. So sure, that'd be cool.
So one thing I will say that I found cool of this, the voice of Celine is played by Yeonjun Kim, and the voice of Healer Dan, the fake doctor, was done by Daniel Day Kim, who previously appeared together as a married couple in Lost as Sun and Jin. So,
okay.
So Sun and Jin both made their way into this movie.
Neat.
Whose final scene in Lost still haunts me to this day.
Yeah, they drowned, right? Yeah.
Oh, in the spoiler alert.
Well, spoiler alert if you're 20 years late to this. Yeah.
But yeah, it was in a submarine, and they're like holding hands at the end because like one of them was gonna be able to escape, and the other one essentially said like, no, I'm just gonna stay here with you and like die with you because like you're my world. And there's this like sad like just little piano note that plays right at the end, just a sad little ping.
Yeah.
And then you go to commercial and you're like, what? And you're crying.
Yeah.
Why am I crying right now?
Yeah, it was all Hurley's dream. Sorry I spoiled that for you. But
it was all in Hurley's ranch dressing jar that actually took place there.
But that ending spoiled a lot for me. Like my joy and love of, well, I don't know. I still kind of like the show, but goddamn it. Anyway.
Yeah, it's a show that maybe didn't stick to the landing, but I mean, it had a good run, and that was cute to see them noted there. It's like, oh, well, look at them, sort of back together on that.
Neat trivia, very good.
The main antagonist named Guima. Ma Gui is Korean for demon.
Yeah, and I've been mispronouncing some names here. Like there's something about a W immediately followed by an M, and it's just like it confuses my mouth.
You went like Guiwa a few times.
It really throws my mouth for a loop, as I discovered during this podcast. So yeah.
So yes, Ma Gui is Korean for demon. I love that they play with like basically these words that you probably would pick up again if you're Korean immediately, versus Americans were like, oh, well, I didn't get that at all, but neat. Cool, good to know. The filmmakers were inspired by Ani, the name for animation in Korea, as opposed to anime in Japan, mind you, and films by Bong Joon-ho to make this movie. There's actually a killer Korean anime out now that's like topping the charts as well, called Solo Leveling, and the main character has this exact same vibe as Jinu. He's tall, he's got the same little flowy boy haircut, little undercut thing going. They certainly have a like their, again, pretty boy male aesthetic like ideal is very different from again what American media shows on things. You don't see a lot of just pretty men out there. Maybe a Ryan Gosling or whatever, but even he tries to get dirty and like sort of be more masculine to a degree.
There's this. Geez, I mean, we could talk forever about this, but there's this tendency in presenting masculinity in American media where if the character is slender and pretty, they feel the need for that character to really like demonstrate their heterosexuality. Like it'll be really quick into the when you first are introduced to this character where they'll make a reference to their girlfriend. Like the film is like trying to hurry up to get them to demonstrate their credentials, or they got to like put some kind of stink on themselves, like with attitude or something to take the sheen off their pretty. There's just this broad tendency to present masculinity in American media on these kind of like toxic terms, unfortunately. And so, yeah,
Very true. Yeah. And it is just a tendency that we see. Maggie King says this about her inspiration for the film. I think I touched on it, but she, in a direct quote, says, "I've always wanted to see an animated film set in Korean culture. As a Korean person who was born in Korea but grew up in North America, it's been surreal but also incredible to see our culture just become so cool. Like, it's cheesy, but I think it's true. Growing up, everyone knew Chinese and Japanese culture well, but Koreans were not even on the map. And now that we are, I feel so much pride, and I just wanted to express this pride through a film that celebrated our culture, all aspects of it. So my biggest inspiration for this film is my culture."
Yeah.
And I think it's shown through. I mean,
yeah.
a lot of things could easily have gone over American heads. I don't think the sussy and derpy thing was going to land with American audiences because we're not seeing these satirical paintings of these.
Well, and that's kind of a deep reference, really. Like once you describe it, it's like, oh wow, yeah, this is actually like it's a light presence in the film, but it would really evoke something to the Korean audience for sure. Yeah. So yeah.
So that is my trivia. Really, all I've left is cast and crew, but I have a big list, frankly.
yeah. We can.
Okay, so let's talk, I guess, the directors really quick. Maggie King, as I've cited several times, is the creator of this story. She both co-wrote and then co-directed this while working with Chris Applehands to bring a very culturally Korean movie to life. Chris Applehands, as I mentioned, was an animation veteran. He was partnered with her to help infuse the story with music and cultural elements that made the film a global phenomenon. And I think they both did a hell of a job. And they both have expressed interest in coming back and telling more stories about this in this universe. And Netflix would be an absolute fool not to do it. So, yeah, I can't imagine a sequel's not coming in the next couple of years or something.
Oh, yeah.
Or however fast they can beg Sony to get this out for them, mind you. But Arden Cho is who plays Rumi. She is first credited in 2006. She has 42 acting credits with a lot of variety, frankly. But her most prolific work comes from Teen Wolf, where she was on 44 episodes between 2014 and 2016. In the semi-recent past, she's been in Chicago Med, where she's credited with 17 episodes. And she also plays June in the new live-action Avatar Last Airbender reboot on Netflix.
Oh, yeah.
She's 39 as of now and was born in Amarillo, Texas, for which she receives my condolences.
Wow, she was born in Amarillo.
Yeah.
Damn. Oof, okay.
I'm so sorry. Yeah. I grew up near there, and I don't recommend it.
Would not do again. 1 star.
2 thumbs down.
Exactly.
Mei Hong is who plays Mira. To me, at first, if I'd like guess who this was, she sounded like this girl that plays like Rosa on Brooklyn Nine-Nine, or has something like a gruff. I forget her exact name. Not her, but Mei Hong here. She just hasn't done a lot. She only has 10 acting credits to date, with the first coming in 2017 when she was on an episode of Broad City. Great show.
Oh yeah.
She was also on an episode of Hacks recently, but this is her first voice acting role. And prior to acting, she graduated from design school. She's managed a photography studio, and she's done modeling and commercial work. So she's she's doing a bit more now on that. But also, I mean, Zoe is played by Ji Young Yu, and she also doesn't have many acting credits to her name. She has just 14, dating back to 2018, and she was a professional dancer. So this is a big thing for her. And I mean, Mira's voice actor, Mei Hong specifically, says like she didn't really sign on expecting this to be anything, especially like nearly as big as it was. And she just thought the script was great. And so she lended her voice talents here. And I think it turned out great. I think they both did an amazing job. I think Zoe had maybe 2 or 3. Yeah, this is her 3rd voice acting role. She says, but yeah, she brings her dancing to her roles. She does.
Let's see. And then Genu.
An Hyul Sup. He has 15 acting credits and is most known for his work in K-dramas, which is reportedly how Maggie King found him. He's most known for Business Proposal, which I mentioned is referenced in the movie, and the very first scene where he and Rumi meet. The same song's playing in the background. He's the main character in that, and it's just another fun reference if you're Korean or if you're a big K-drama fan in that. But he also, his second biggest role where he's been in I want to say 22 episodes or something, is Dr. Romantic, a long-running show, medical drama, which you could name Grey's Anatomy that and it would be the same show, frankly, because it is like, they swap people out and people die in the seasons and stuff. But
he's quite good looking.
He's beautiful. Yeah, he's 30. But wow.
Dreamy.
You can fix that guy.
Let's see.
I did call out Guima's voice. Lee Byung-hun is best known to Americans and probably global, frankly, audiences for playing the antagonist frontman on Netflix's Squid Game. Yeah. The Man in Black there. And then Bobby, we called out as Ken Jeong, who's just a hilarious actor in The Hangover and Community. But did you know what he did before, like acting?
Well, he was a surgeon, right? Or,
he was like a licensed physician and like
cardiovascular surgeon. Yeah.
Which is an insane career trajectory to have, to then like be on The Hangover 1 and pop out naked from a van and just like or a trunk and just attack somebody. But so good for him. Yeah, I mean, he's making it work, and I love him.
Senor Chang of Community fame. Highly recommended.
Gosh. Yeonjun Kim, which I mentioned as Celine, is most known for playing Sun on Lost to the American audiences. She has 31 acting credits, but most of which are Korean media, so she may not be entirely exposed to a lot of people past that when I was looking at her credits. In opposition to that, Daniel Dae Kim is just a prolific actor who's been around since like the early 90s. I say, and I mean, his pages say he's most known for playing Jin on Lost to many, or Chin Ho Kelly on the Hawaii Five-0 reboot, where he has 168 episodes, but he has 101 acting credits, and they go way back. He has been on things like Steinfeld, NYPD Blue, Beverly Hills 90210, All My Children, ER, 24, the abysmal Oscar bait movie Crash. Though my favorite credit of his, at least when scrolling through, was that playing rapist Ivy Leaguer in the 2008 Onion movie, which, yes, that Onion was made by the satirical news network, and I didn't know they had a movie, so I learned something. But he also was in the live-action Avatar Last Airbender one as the main antagonist, Fire Lord Ozai, call out. Cool. And did a great job on that. He always does a great job, frankly. I've seen him all over. And so, awesome. And that. There's also some small cameos from some interesting names, such as Joel Kim Booster playing the variety show host.
And also Romance Saja.
Yeah. And then I showed Tommy before this. I don't know if this name would mean anything to you, dear listener. If you saw his picture, it probably would. But Sungwon Cho, or ProZD, as he's better known on YouTube.
ProZD. He's got quite a following. He drops a lot of very funny videos about anime-related things and gaming-related things and whatnot.
Card games, yeah. They're very short form, like a 2-minute-ish like thing. He's not a very long-winded, but he's very funny. Like he'll just do something where like he's playing both characters.
Yeah,
like,
he's basically it's like a mirror image. He's talking to himself as one character or the other, and it
was very
funny.
TikTok before TikTok, frankly, because he was out on YouTube doing this really short-form content before TikTok was out there.
He's kind of a TikTok prototype. Yeah,
but he plays Abby, and he's spread out into a lot of voice work, frankly, in video games and otherwise, and I think he's even directed something, and so I mean, good for him. Yeah, he's got a big big thing going on.
Very good. Let's see. Did we miss any of the main?
I don't think so, especially because the Saja boys largely, or I mean, like, certainly prove me wrong, most of them didn't really have lines that much. When I say ProZD played Ab Saja, he probably got 1 or 2 lines, frankly.
It's mainly Genu, and
I struggle to recall when Romance Saja opened his mouth, frankly. So if somebody did play him, you mentioned Joel Kim Booster.
Ooh, yeah. Does he actually have a line? He must have a line. He's got a voice actor.
Part of I did
yeah.
read that they had to drop, or maybe not had to, but they just edited out several stories, like a race
sure.
or some more competitions between the two bands and stuff. And so it's very possible that his voice work would have come through more in other scenes that perhaps did not make the final cut.
Left on the editing room floor, as it were.
Sad.
All right. Well, let's see.
That's about what we got, I would say.
Okay.
I think we did that pretty well, but
Yeah. In case you missed it, highly recommended. A delightful film for so many reasons. Definitely for the queer affinity, but also the soundtrack. It's very fun. It's very fresh. It's great. So check it out. Yeah.
check it out. Take a listen. All you got to do is go find the top charts.
Yeah.
And they're littered with them. So.
Exactly. If you're on the dance floor, you might hear this song no matter what. So there you go. But you know what? If you have a favorite song, let us know.
Yeah.
I'd be curious to know this. So yeah. All right. Well,
we appreciate you listeners as always, and we actually do have our next film coming up, which you can email us about if you'd like. We are going to do The Substance.
We're reviewing
next.
The Substance. I've wanted to review this for a while, and we're finally going to do it. So yeah, so strap yourselves in. This is a crazy film.
A disgustingly but beautiful and twisted film. And so if you've seen it,
grotesque and wonderful.
You can email us questions. We will take a look at our inbox and put them on air if you got
We will also have a special guest. So
we will.
Yeah. So yeah. Well, my name is Tommy.
And I'm Kyle.
And this has been Video Head Cleaner. Check us out next time.
See you later.